Fullmetal Alchemist.
I'm like, what am I looking up?
Good question.
What am I? Who am I? What are we doing here? Why are we here? Just to suffer? Every day I get emails. All right. Hooray!
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a theory.
Okay.
About these 2 episodes.
I would love to hear it.
Okay. So I think that
Okay.
something is going to happen.
All right.
That is going to probably maybe change the course of the show.
Okay.
Maybe not just show, but we're gonna getting towards the end.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of those episodes in Avatar: The Last Airbender where there's a big thing and then it that changes how the show was going to go.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I mean, it's called this episode isn't.
Yeah. Next one's called The Promise. That's a big deal. I think probably maybe.
We're gonna find out some stuff.
We're gonna find out some stuff.
Also, do we have a reunion with a child and his papa?
We'll find out.
Well, what's all last time?
Yeah, we literally got the preview last time. There's no mystery.
Well, wasn't no, I didn't see the preview.
Oh, it was like a clip.
Yeah, the end clip.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
What are we watching?
We are watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 44, Revving at Full Throttle.
We have Drive?
We are vroom-rooming.
Winry?
We are vroom-rooming. All right, let's go.
I'm trying to figure out if there's anybody we haven't met yet. Also, where's Ed?
Oh, great question. I don't think we've met everyone here. Let me see. Everyone here looks familiar.
That looks familiar.
Yeah, we know that guy.
We got to have them meet.
Yeah, we need them to meet.
And be like, yes. We know him.
We know him, yeah. I feel like at this point we have been introduced to all the big players.
But it was funny because with the other 2 theme songs, there was new people being introduced constantly. And I'm like, wait, there's too many characters.
Right. I like shows with a big cast. I like the variety.
I do too, but it's also a weird thing about if you introduce characters late into the game.
Yeah. All right, welcome back to another episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. I am your host, Ken Clothier. With me is my co-host,
Dara Whitman.
How's it going, Dara?
The American government is full of homunculuses, and then they're trying to open a portal to destroy all America.
So we are back talking about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood with episode 44, Revving at Full Throttle, and episode 45, The Promised Day. Any thoughts on that, Dara? Before we get into...
I'm right.
Yes, you are right. Anyway.
Think about it.
We gotta think about it, man. It's all conspiracy, man.
It started in 2016 and then they got screwed up a bit, but think about it. There's been several crosses of death and blah, 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 blah. And we're gonna die.
Yes, we are. Anyway, before we start talking about the show, let's plug some social media.
What's the point?
Because that will make us feel whole and good and full inside. Anyway, you can follow us.
They're ruled by the homunculus.
I know. It's all homunculi all the way down, man. It goes up to the very highest layer. We are Witty Clothes Productions. You can follow us on a variety of social media, of course. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. We do read those comments on the show. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media sites are still operational by the time this episode comes out. We have no idea.
I think as of now they all are.
On your favorite site, just search up Witty Clothes.
What are the new ones like Blue Sky and something else?
Yeah.
We don't have Blue Sky. Is that good? Is it good now?
I've heard decent things about Blue Sky.
I feel like it's good. It'll be good until it gets corrupted.
Yeah.
Because like everything.
Yeah.
I think the only site that wasn't like that was Twitter. That just always was terrible.
Yeah, rest in peace, Twitter. Anyway, so let's talk about Fullmetal Alchemist. Oh, you can also give us money on Patreon if you want to.
Yeah.
Because we have some cool Patreon perks, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so we're going to talk about episode 44, Revving at Full Throttle. Let's go. Because, of course, as you remember, as we left off last episode, we had a reunion of sorts. Remember that, Dara?
Yeah, Ed and Al. We found out where Ed was.
We found out where Ed was, except we didn't. We have no idea where Edward Elric is.
Alphonse and his papa.
Yeah, so we have a very exciting thing happen. Of course, the last time... So Hohenheim and Ed have met previously because they met back when they went to Risenbull. But Hohenheim has not seen Alphonse since he left. And Al was a wee lad. Just a real young baby.
Are Ed and Al only 2 years apart?
They're 1 year
apart. 1 year apart, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, they're 1 year apart. But still.
It's super interesting how, Al really doesn't have, Al doesn't really have the trauma that Ed has. Mm-hmm. But, I feel like its trauma is, if, Al, just, feels Ed trauma, so then it's, but, there's not that tension. Yeah. But it's just funny considering they're only a year apart that,
I feel like when you're that young, though, a year makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And so... Yeah, and I think also, too, because, I mean, if you think about it from, like, a sibling perspective, like, Ed is the oldest, and so the only person he has to look up, like, that's older than him, like, and a male is his father, whereas Al, even though his brother is only a year older than him, he still has his brother to look up to.
Yeah.
So, Ed has daddy issues. But that's besides the point. We're going to talk about Al and his lack of daddy issues today, because this is a miracle somehow. Anyway.
Yeah, so it's like, there's no, it's like, I feel like there is, I don't know, it doesn't feel like I'm mad at him. He doesn't feel mad at his dad. I think he's, like, kind of, like...
He doesn't know his dad.
He doesn't know his dad. I think,
and so he doesn't have any, like, expectations, really.
I kind of wonder, like, does he feel, like, shame that it's because his father left? Like, his father was ashamed of them? I kind of felt like that he was trying to impress his dad.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I see it as a sense of, like, Al has no expectations or memories of his father, so he, like, anything he gets of him is, like, bonus extra. Like, it's not filling a hole that's there. It's more like, this never existed, so anything, like, yeah, my dad. All right, cool.
And let's be fair, exciting. He did get a bonus.
Yeah.
Got several, I'm going to say a huge bonus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we kind of open on the scene where Hohenheim meets Al for the first time in over a decade. Great, awesome. And it's awkward as all hell.
Yeah.
It's been a
Snack
long time.
and food. Or drinking food.
Yeah. So,
hi.
I saw Pinocchio recently. He told me about your body.
Okay.
Hey, Dad.
This is awkward.
Mr. Ho, you think you can
Mr.
give us
Ho?
a hand for a bit? Yeah, sure. Let's catch up later.
Papa!
It's only been over a decade. He's like, it can wait a little longer.
I think he just doesn't know what to say.
No, he doesn't. It's like, Hohenheim's just like, hey, yeah.
He does say that he's aware of what happened to his body, so
he
it's
does,
not, like, surprised.
Yeah, he does mention that Pinocchio told him about Al's, what's going on with his body situation. Hohenheim's like, okay, cool, awesome. And then there's, like, an awkward pause there, and Hohenheim has been helping out with the reconstruction of Lior, and so he's kind of built a relationship with the people who live there.
So it's been a minute.
Yeah, so it's been a little bit. Especially I feel like in this past arc, in these last 2 episodes, there's been a lot of passage of time that we're not really being told about, but we can kind of infer. So of course there's a lot of traveling, which means it takes days and hundreds of miles to, like, go from one location to the other. So it does take a lot of time. So we can infer that Hohenheim has been here for a minute and he's been helping out. They call him Mr. Ho. No notes. And so he goes to.
I mean, Hohenheim's a lot, so, like, I feel I understand the shortening, but, like,
Mr. Ho. Yeah. Anyway, so Hohenheim then kind of takes the out to be like, you know what? We'll catch up later. What's another couple minutes after 10 years or 12 years? It's fine.
Again, he doesn't know how to be a parent.
No, not at all. No, and he starts to get better, but, like, dude, you're the adult here. You've been alive for hundreds of years. You gotta step up and be a parent, in my humble opinion. Anyway, so we kind of get to see a little bit more
that's so upsetting.
Of Lior, and we get to go back to, like, the food stand that we always seem to come back to anytime that we're in Lior. It seems like it's the only
I feel like it's, like, the center of the town.
It is. It really is. I mean, food is central to any society. And it's so funny because the guy who runs the stand, like, shows up a lot. He does not have a name. He's never given it a name.
Remember in Orphan Black, there was, like, the other buddy, and we never got a name for him, and then we just made up a name. Can we do that for this guy?
Oh, yeah. No, he's just the guy. I think we gotta just...
Food stand guy.
He's food stand guy. He's just food stand guy. And we have to accept that. We just have to accept that truth.
You did a hell of a job fixing up this old radio. It works better than it used to.
Aww.
You're welcome.
It doesn't even
Throwback.
pick up static now.
Oh, this poor boy.
I'm really sorry.
You've got to look at all the good stuff that's come from it. You guys exposed to corrupt fraud. People reacted badly at first, but take a look.
That's honestly really nice.
Sounds good, huh?
Yeah.
The whole town's working together to rebuild what we lost.
That's really sweet, actually.
You guys are the ones that brought us together.
Aww. And Al is seeing kind of Lior for the first time since they were there last time, which, of course, as you remember, at the beginning of the series, they came and they were like, hey, Colt, bad, your leader's a fraud. And then after they left, things went from bad to worse. Of course, Central stepped in and everything went to shit. So now they have to rebuild the town. So Al's kind of coming to terms with the fallout from there. And he kind of takes upon himself to say like, oh, this was our fault. Sorry. Because if we didn't step in and do all of this stuff, then it wouldn't have escalated to the point where, you know, your whole town would have been destroyed. And
probably several hundred people being dead.
Yeah, we can infer that there's probably some people who died.
I don't know what the population is of Lior, but I'm assuming at least like half the population might be dead.
Maybe we can't really know for certain. That's not something that's really given to us. But the people in Lior, they're like whoever's left, it doesn't really seem to have hard feelings about this. At least no one that we interact with is having hard feelings about this. Like no one's saying like, wow, you know, everything was better when Father Cornello was here. It was like, oh, if only he wasn't exposed as a fraud. Anyone, like a lot of them have really come to terms with the fact that like, no, like that was a bad thing. Like that was actually bad that we were kind of in a cult thing. That was not a good situation. And even though a lot of bad things happened, them kind of coming in and kind of undoing everything that was there and has kind of put them on a path to kind of, you know, rebuild, but in a way that's better and they can kind of move forward. So no one, at least so far, has really exhibited any ill will towards them because of what's happened.
So war and a bunch of murder can help people realize the error of their ways and to rebuild stuff.
I guess. I'm sure we could have probably gotten there without murder. I don't think the murder was necessary.
I think the government had a play in the murder.
Yes, absolutely.
I kind of feel like
they're the ones who made it worse.
Right. I kind of think if the government wasn't there would be some fighting, but maybe less murder. Mm-hmm. And then we would have like realized the error of our ways.
I agree.
So we don't need a war.
Yeah. War, what is it good for?
Capitalism.
You're right.
Yay!
I'm gonna help build. Rose, can you take care of Winry?
Why?
I don't think she needs taken care of.
Well, we might as well help too.
You heard him, Yoki.
Do you mean like to protect?
I'm eating. Food will taste better once you've worked up an appetite.
Quit struggling.
I'm hungry now. Go.
Yoki. No one cares about him.
I'm surprised he hasn't gone away yet.
That was your son back there?
I don't know. I left when he was just a boy and haven't seen him since.
I'm a bad
Thinks
father.
of me as his father or trusts me. I'm not even sure what to say to him.
Hey, Dad!
Oh, that was really cute.
I'd like to work too.
He's just a boy.
Here, let me carry those.
Oh my god. He's so sweet. I love him so much.
Sorry for abandoning you, child.
Interesting how one child ended up with immense daddy issues and the other's like,
Amazing.
So he wants to go and work.
Too good. Can we get his body back?
Al is too good for this world. I love Alphonse so much. He's just a good, sweet kid. And so meanwhile, and then kind of everyone disperses to kind of help. So the other Chimera that are there, so Jerso and Zapano, they're like, cool, we'll help too. They drag Yoki along. Yoki's
When we goes to take a bath?
It's Al's so funny because Al's like, Rose, because Rose is here. We remember Rose. He's like, take care of Winry. I'm like, she can take care of herself. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure, like, in a situation, probably Winry would be taking care of Rose.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't even know if Winry can fight, but I feel like she can. A little bit.
She's not a fighter, though. She's a healer at heart.
No, I get
she
that.
Can handle her
I'm
own.
saying in a situation, if she needed to throw a punch, she could throw a punch.
She could whack someone with a wrench really well.
Yeah.
Pow.
It feels like
She's
an
naked.
eternity since I've had a bath.
Isn't she 15?
I'll leave some fresh clothes for you here.
I think
Thank
16.
you so much, Rose.
No, maybe 15.
That's still not great.
Yeah.
She's so nice to do all this for me. Henry, working as an
No.
automail engineer, you're so independent for someone
Somebody
your
got
age.
that.
Somebody probably did.
So did you design Ed's leg? That's right. You're the one who literally helped Ed get back on his feet again.
All right, I need y'all to pass the Bechdel
So you
test. Stop
indirectly
talking about
helped
Ed.
me get back on my feet too. I owe you just as much as I owe Ed and Al.
Make room for
I was
Jesus.
desperate enough.
And so now we have this scene with the girls where Winry kind of goes to Rose's house and is in the bath.
I did not like this.
I think I wasn't a huge fan of that. I mean, this isn't as
Also,
bad as a lot of other anime. Any other anime that we watch will be worse with stuff like this. But it is one of those like, why am I watching the teenage girl in the bath?
Also, there wasn't any bubbles in the bath, so you you could basically see everything, and I'm like, I don't want to.
I don't want to watch this actually.
Like, the rule should be that if somebody's gonna take a bath and they're a teenager, you put bubbles in it.
Yeah, you put the sensor bubbles.
It doesn't even matter if Leor can afford bubbles.
Right.
You put the bubbles.
We find a way to make bubbles. So we got through this, we get a conversation between Winry and Rose, in which I don't think the Bechdel test is passed at all, because they end up talking about men most of the time.
It was funny. I just finished watching a documentary on the musical Funhouse, which was about the comic of that. It was from Alison Bechdel. Yeah. And I looked looking her up, and then I realized like the whole thing was a joke.
Yeah, it's comedic, and then people kind of adapted it to be a real thing. I think there's validity to the Bechdel test. I don't think it's a one size fits all as far as like if that constitutes as feminist media. But it is a quick little handy tool that we shouldn't take too seriously, but I still actually like the Bechdel test.
Well, I think it was funny because I forget what movie it was, but it was like the one with Elizabeth Olsen, Natasha Lyonne, and Carrie Coon.
Okay.
And it's like three women, all their names, but like their main focus is their father who's dying.
Yeah.
So like technically it doesn't pass, but then also like it feels very like empowering.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
but also it's like part of the plot.
Right.
Yeah. That makes sense. So we comment below. How do you feel about this scene in the Bechdel test?
Do we pass the Bechdel test?
Yeah, we do.
You're a woman?
Oh, shit.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I love you.
I think that's, you know what, that's a fair point. I think it's for the sake of the test. I think it passed. It's really good.
I'm gonna roll today.
You got me. I appreciate you immensely. Anyway, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. You see, it doesn't pass the Bechdel test because it's brotherhood, not sisterhood.
Well, it's about brothers.
It is about brothers. Anyway, this is a joke. Someone's gonna take this too seriously, but this is all a joke. Anyway.
But then Ed got furious with me. He told me to stand on my own 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
He said that? He can be a jerk sometimes. I don't know why it's so difficult for him to be nice. But he was being nice. That's just how much he cares.
In a really asshole way.
Yeah. You already know that, don't you?
I do like how we're not fighting over him, man.
Yes.
That is nice.
We're learning to stand on our own. And we don't need any kind of miracle to do it.
That's good for them.
Thanks to Ed and Al.
Down with cults.
I will say I do like that they're not like, there's not like a jealousy over Ed.
Right, there's not like you like Ed, but I like Ed. Ew.
I guess it did find it interesting because like Rose in the last episode was saying like, oh, where's Ed? I miss him. Because did she have feelings for him? But I didn't fully get that vibe. And also she's like an adult technically.
She's a little bit older. And so we don't actually know what age she is, but we know that she is.
I thought she was like 20.
No, she's younger. I think she's like 17 or 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's probably like 18, I would say. Just putting it out there. I don't think it's confirmed.
I feels like that after her whole situation, she is trying to stay single.
She should take a break from men for a while.
I think she is, which I approve of.
Yeah, exactly. But she does appreciate Ed, and this does come up in the conversation, and it's true. Just as you were saying, there's no like jealousy or like, well, I'm close to Ed. I'm close to Ed. They're bonding about their relationship to Ed because they both have spent time with him and they both understand him, and they talk about how they've helped him out. There's actually a very sweet kind of scene or line where Rose is talking about, she's like, oh, you're the one who did his automail. So in a way, like, you're responsible, not responsible, but like you have a hand in all the good things that Ed did for us. So it's not just, we're not just saying Ed did all the good things. It's because you were able to help him, or you did all of this work that you're kind of a part of this too. So I thought that was very nice.
Quick question. Did Winry help with the automail like the first time?
I think so.
Did she just help? Because that Pinako did most of that.
Probably Pinako, yeah. Because Winry does comment, she was like, we were both kids back then, but she does say that she had a hand in it.
Yeah.
But probably not as much as she does now.
Yes.
Because she was very young back then. But she's also very skilled and talented.
Yes.
So she is very good. But yeah, so they have kind of a bonding moment there, and it's a nice scene. They talk about Ed. They're like, yeah, Ed, that guy. We like him. Anyway, so that's kind of where we leave Lior for a while. Maybe the rest of the episode? No, we have one more scene in Lior, but we're not.
Well, there's some
yet.
more father-son bonding.
Yeah, but before we get to that, we are going to
find out where Ed is.
No, we're not. Do you remember Beto? You remember Beto? He's like the little weird short little guy with like the tail. He's a Chimera, and he's like Mr. Greed. That guy. We're gonna follow him.
Sure.
Even though no one asked for this.
I didn't.
Nobody asked for this. Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't such a bright idea to
that guy.
this military.
Where's that?
Great question.
No idea where the hell I am. Where are you, Mr. Greed?
We also haven't seen what is this? Gridling?
Oh yeah.
In a while?
Yeah, that's what we're doing now.
That. Hello?
Yeah, those things.
Hey, isn't that the body form?
Yep. That's like the immortal soldiers.
He's traumatized.
The
Yeah.
state has no interest in ethics. They're too much of a variable to use as a guideline.
I remember.
You remember now?
I remember.
They're like humanoid receptacles, powerful dummies that we can bond souls to. Not only are they
Powerful
immortal,
dummies, also known
they're
as the government.
mindlessly obedient.
Heyo.
The world's most perfect soldier.
Where do you plan on procuring these?
Wait a minute.
From rival lands, of course. Citizens from the countries we ravaged during the course of war. For one reason or another, the battlefield serves as
Are
a
other
hunting
people
ground
that they have
for the
ideas about
collection
putting
of
the
souls.
souls into?
Maybe.
But
This place is evil! Pure
I feel like
evil!
there's a flaw
Why
in
did
this
I
design.
ever come here? Mr. Greed would never be in an awful place like this!
Oh, did you say Greed?
Hey, buddy!
Hey, it's been a while!
Underground tunnel.
So we're gonna follow Beto. I think we saw him in a previous episode. He's just trying to figure out. He's real bummed about Mr. Greed because he doesn't know where he went. All of his friends are dead. Yeah, he's having a rough time.
Yeah.
So, but he kind of overhears something about something. So he ends up basically catching a ride to Central, and he starts kind of like meandering around kind of the underbelly of Central, and then stumbles upon the mannequin soldiers. You remember those things?
Yeah, I
You saw
do.
in previous episodes, they're like these like husks of bodies that you're supposed to like put souls into, and they'd be like immortal soldiers, which is all fun and quirky and cute. It's fine. It's
But I
fine.
do get an idea. So whose souls are we going to put them into? Also, I don't actually think this plan is going to work.
Sure.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Because you can't really control like a soul, like it's still like the personality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that like in general, but I feel like it's kind of been established in this show that like the soul has like all the personality of the person. So like you can't really control them, and even if you just move to another body.
Mm-hmm.
A la, I'm thinking of course, SpongeBob when we removed his brain and put them in the SpongeBob robot.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not gonna cook any crab patties for you, Mr. Plankton. I don't really feel like it.
Oh yeah.
So like I'm not sure. I feel like it's like I feel like they're like thinking too logically, not thinking of like the human part of this.
Well, yes, I think that their exact problem is that they're not thinking about the humanity aspect of any of this, and which I think is almost line for line, of course, because this scene is merging with a scene that we've seen previously.
Yeah.
In which Major General Armstrong was kind of being pulled up into the upper echelons of everything, and then kind of being shown the secrets. And through one of the final scenes we see of that in a previous episode is Lieutenant General Gardner shows her the broom, of course, with the mannequin soldiers. And literally the first thing we hear from him as these kind of two scenes are colliding is being like, oh, we don't care about ethics. We don't care about ethics. So that answers that. So we don't know, we cannot know at this point if they are accounting for the humanity aspect of using a soul, but they do specify that they are getting these souls from foreign countries. So all these border skirmishes that they have, and all of these kind of things, all these conflicts that are happening between the other countries and Amestris, all the people that they take from that, they're going to use their souls and put them in these bodies because frack them.
Also, you know, like how we also established it doesn't work. If we go back to this show, there was one guy named Barry the Chopper.
Yeah.
Remember, like he flipped sides. He just wanted to kill.
Yeah, he enjoyed
like
killing.
so that didn't work because he wasn't like come like going along with you wanted to with what the army wanted. I mean, he did a little bit, but like for the most part, like once he could get out, he got out and would decide to bury the chopper. R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Barry. We hardly knew ye. Ripperoony. So, all right. And then of course this is all terrifying. So we're still following Vito, even though we are kind of encroaching on the scene that we've seen in previous episodes. And Vito's like scared shitless and then runs. And that's kind of where we leave off, of course, as I think we kind of end the scene as he kind of comes across somebody who we recognize as being Greed 2.0, because it's been a while since we've seen it.
It's been
a minute since we've seen Greed 2.0, but we're gonna step away from that for a second and then kind of go back to Lior.
If it does, well, no, I'm positive it does.
Hold on now. Let's find someplace more private.
There's eyes and ears
So,
everywhere.
it's a countrywide transmutation.
That's also not a play.
You plan on destroying it.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to know, Al?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did it ever cross your mind I might be on their side? You've given
Stop being
away
a jerk.
your
Stop
entire
being a
plan.
jerk.
Aren't you the least bit worried I might leak it to them?
I mean, like, I would, but...
I'm glad that you feel like you can still trust
Oh
me.
my god, this guy... Stop doing this to your children.
Even though I left them,
Be
this
normal.
boy's I suppose I owe my sons the same trust they've given me.
Yes.
Or at least one of them has given you.
This
The other one
won't
does
be
not
easy
trust
to
you.
To
explain.
be fair.
It would be for the best for Edward to hear it as well.
Actually, I hate to say it, but Brother has gone missing.
Yeah.
So
Right,
Hohenheim
under here.
knows everything. Al didn't like give them anything new.
I really don't think
I thought
so.
the reverse circle was new.
The reverse circle is probably new for him.
Okay.
I don't think he knows about the reverse circle, so that's probably the one new bit of information. But Al starts like, I think there's a tunnel underneath Lior, and of course, as we saw in a previous episode, Hohenheim knows full well about the tunnel, and he has been down there, specifically under the one in Lior. So, you know, they are kind of sharing that information, and Al is like, hey, so there's a guy in Central. Craziest thing. Looks just like you. You probably know who he is. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying, yeah, you might know who he is. And Al says this very non-judgmentally. He says it more like, hey, that's your life, that's your journey, do your thing, but you probably know about
I
that
am
guy.
your son.
But like also, hey, it's me, your boy. And Hohenheim kind of has a minute where Hohenheim does not know how to talk to people. And he's like, how do you know that I'm not in cahoots with those guys? And I was
I'm like, Papa.
It's very funny because I think Hohenheim's trying to just bring up this degree of discernment of being like, hey, how do you know that like I'm not that? I think he says that to be like in a way not coaching, but almost like, you gotta keep an eye out for everybody.
Well, kind of it's like a thing he did with Ed about like the body thing.
Yeah.
Like, was it actually his mother and like kind of coaching him to go and like actually.
Yeah. So Hohenheim is not. Hohenheim's growing because he gets better after this, but like he doesn't always know how to approach conversations, and he tries to help, but in a way that feels very antagonizing sometimes, and it rubs him the wrong way. But Al's very secure in how he feels about the situation and about his own father. So like Al's
He's just not
like
secure in himself.
I think I'm good. I think you're good. I trust you. And Hohenheim feels, I think, probably pretty touched that like his son does trust him, because at least like 1 out of 2 is not that bad. And so I think then from there, Hohenheim is like, okay, then we gotta talk then, because if you trust me, I gotta I want to pay that back to you as well. I got some information that we gotta talk about. But
here's my trauma.
So, but before we get to that, then he's like, yeah, we should probably wait for Ed to get here, because then we have this conversation together, a nice, good family chat. And Al's like, I don't know where Ed is.
Neither do we.
No one knows where Ed is. Except, no, not yet. But. Yeah?
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 I'd like to make a withdrawal from the account of state alchemist Edward Elric, his research account.
Who are you?
Are you the account holder?
I'm his representative, but I brought a letter of attorney.
Thank you for your business, sir.
No, we've seen that guy before.
I believe you, but I'm also concerned.
That's fine.
This is the Bank of Amestris, Northern Branch. We've just had a very large withdrawal taken from state alchemist Edward Elric's personal research account.
We're going to go back to North City. Do you remember North City, Dara? It's a city in the north.
Okay.
Very aptly named. And we don't see Ed yet, but we do see his pocket watch. Because, as you recall, the last time we saw Ed, he was not alone. He was with two of Kimberly's chimeras, who abandoned Kimberly pretty quickly.
Kimberly abandoned them.
Yeah. Once those guys realized Kimberly's a jerk and does not care about us, they're like, I don't like this, actually. So why don't we just ditch them and then work with Ed? So we see one of those guys by the name of Darius. Goes to the bank to withdraw some money from Ed's account because, as we know, Ed has a pretty decent sum in his bank account because of the research money he's afforded.
Did they withdraw all of it or just like a portion of it?
Just a portion of it. So, but it's a chunk, and so because of that, then someone at the bank is like, once he leaves, he's like, yo. Just let you know, makes a call that someone has withdrawn money from there. Because it sounds like people are on the lookout for Ed. Because as everyone else knows that he's missing, and I think people want to know where he is.
Including us.
Yeah, so we kind of go back to this like little hole in the wall kind of place. There's a doctor there and his wife.
Here, that should cover your medical bill.
Oh, is that one of the
risks involved?
Is that one of the chimeras?
Sure.
Yeah.
And as long as you guarantee that you're going to keep your mouth shut, then I'm not complaining. Darius.
Oh, Darius and Hankel, yeah.
I guess they found us.
Oh, you're soldiers. Do you need a physical?
We're looking for someone.
Rude?
Is this man your only patient? There's no one else?
There's one more resting.
I'm taking a nap.
Are you the only patient back here?
Yeah.
And that, of course, last time we saw Ed, he was
a little
on
injured?
on the brink of death, and he needed to get fixed up by a doctor.
Small pipe through his.
Just a minor puncture wound, all the way through. So this is the doctor who has been fixing him up during this time. Great, cool, awesome. But because of the whole bank thing, now people have gotten word that Ed might be here. So then the place is flanked with military, which is fine. It's fun and cool.
I mean, it's not, but
no.
But also, we should say this: they give a terrible description of Ed.
Hold it. Do you work at this doctor's office?
Slowly raise your hands above your head.
Have you seen anyone unusual frequenting the clinic lately? A red coat, blonde hair worn in a braid, and shorts.
You mother...
Check it out.
Harris! Harris, what happened to you? Come on, snap to! Harris!
Cohen! Harris! What's going on? Hey,
Great.
answer me!
Great question.
Hey. You take a nap now.
Is he dead?
Night. Nah.
Okay, good.
Oh, damn.
Probably not.
You just had to take him out on your own, huh?
My injuries are completely healed, and I'm
He's
ready.
back!
Yay!
Yay!
Or is he? Because he doesn't have a braid.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Oh, it's true. Fullmetal Alchemist.
Dang.
Thanks for
I'm in my
everything you've
angstier
done,
teenage phase.
Yay!
Just
He's like, yeah, we're looking for Ed Elric. He's got a red coat, his hair is in a braid, and he's short. And of course, the person he's talking to takes huge offense to the fact that he was called short. And we finally see Ed for the first time in multiple episodes.
He's alive!
Ed is alive and supposedly all healed up.
Well, we don't know how long it's been. He seems fine.
Yeah. He seems fine. And he says he's healed up. We don't actually know. Well, Ed, because Ed is Ed, so... but anyway, so
But also he's not wearing a red coat and his hair is not in a braid or a ponytail.
Yeah, so they don't, he's not instantly recognizable because he doesn't really fit 2 out of the 3 descriptions that they have of him. It's very silly. Anyway, so fight scene ensues because now that the military knows where they are, Ed, Darius, and Heinkel have to get the hell out of there.
Yep.
We've had about all the trouble we can take for today.
That's fair.
That's all they're looking for?
Someone with a red coat and a braid? Guess I'll have to make do with this look for a while.
Get your hands up in the air. Do it now.
And wave them like you just don't care.
Those guys are dangerous.
Did you see the whole loaf of bread?
Yeah.
Stay back or he's dead. Don't force us to blow this kid's brains out.
I love Ed's face. He's just like, okay.
I feel like at a point, you just don't have a choice.
Nice. Avalanche.
Fucking snow.
Strive faster.
Please.
From Northern Command. We're never gonna ditch him.
Hey, isn't this like also a snow-covered road?
Yeah, but those tires are pretty
I
good.
don't think they have four-wheel drive.
Hey, turn there. I've got an idea.
What?
Just shut up and turn.
After being so rude, these guys help you.
I know.
Just park the car as soon as we turn.
What do we do?
Where did they go?
They must have turned on that street up there. Move it.
Oh, Ed.
Ed, oh my god. A good thing they don't know about your terrible taste and everything.
That's true.
Can you change it back into a normal car now?
That's fair.
And why is that? I think this car looks cool as hell.
Of course you do.
Just change it back. Please, we're begging you.
I mean, it's a monster truck cool.
With my sense of style?
You don't have any.
That's fair.
It's so bad.
That is fair. Okay, so we know where Ed is. He's okay.
Yay.
So I
He's
guess
good.
this means we're drifters
Probably.
again.
Car chase?
Car chase. We call this this episode is called Revving at Full Throttle, and so the full throttle, I guess, is referring to this car chase, and it's a good time.
The
How much to say
car
about the
chase, and then they turn, and then Ed's like, I got an idea. I'm gonna make a monster truck.
Yeah, so Ed, as we know, has terrible taste in things, so he transmutes the appearance of the car to look god awful.
Is it terrible taste or is it 15-year-old boy taste?
He has 15-year-old boy taste, which is to say terrible. Anyway.
Sorry to the 15-year-old boys who watch us, but they probably thought it was cool.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever floats your boat. Honestly, just follow your dreams. Just know that, maybe not everyone
But it
will
does
like
make something that's, so far out there that, you wouldn't even, think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's true. But, anyway, so that's that scene. So, good news is we know where Ed is. Yay! He's doing better. Yay! He is...
alive.
Being chased, not as good. So, but we like that he's alive and he seems like he's doing well. He's able to transmute fine. He's on the move. Life is good. Things are great.
Now we just gotta find everybody else.
Now we just need everyone to come together. Is that gonna happen?
Well, technically, we're not even all together anyway.
No, yeah, everyone is all...
we don't even know where Scar and Marco are.
That's true. We don't know where those guys are. We have not seen them in a hot minute. And anyway, so that's kind of where we end that scene with Ed. We're going to go back to Alan Hohenheim, where we've glossed over everything that Hohenheim has just info dumped onto Al.
That's fine, because we already know what happened.
We already know what happened.
Still awake?
Yeah, sorry. It's just a lot.
Aw.
You're a
He
slave
knows.
and now you're a philosopher's stone?
Yeah, right. If you don't believe me.
Good job, Papa, for telling your truth.
You did it.
I know how impossibly far-fetched that it sounds.
Might have taken
Bro, he
crazy.
is a soul in a suit of armor. That's not
Well,
far-fetched.
I guess I'm crazy then, because I do believe you.
Aw.
The genocide might be a bit unforgivable.
Al is too good for us.
To be honest, my situation's kind of far-fetched too.
We should get his body back.
So, what's it like not being able to die?
Well, it's... I'm not gonna lie and say it doesn't come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not worth watching everyone I love die before me.
Who wants to live forever?
Like Mom.
Yeah, remember that? Remember?
Remember
when you left? You jerk.
Wait, you don't have a normal human body, right? So does that mean Ed and I?
Aren't exactly normal humans either.
What?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry, Al. It's true that I have a philosopher's stone fused to my soul. But not even that can change the fact that I am a human being.
But my sperm still's normal. Hohenheim is like, I'd understand if you didn't believe me about the whole being a human philosopher's stone. Al's like, I have no reason not to believe you.
That's true.
Also, I'm literally a soul in a suit of armor. I have no reason to judge.
We know alchemy is a thing.
I have no reason to judge anything about just how, what vessel is hosting a soul or vice versa. So then Al does have a question, which I think everyone probably asks at some point, be like, if you're not a normal person, am I not a normal person? because
Great
you're
question.
my father? And Hohenheim is basically like, my sperm is normal. And we're like, all right, good to know. Good to know. Thanks for sharing, Hohenheim. Thanks for sharing. He's like, yeah, my body is, I got it. I got a philosopher's stone in here, but everything pretty much functions like a human.
I just can't die.
Mm-hmm. He can't die, but that doesn't affect anything about his children.
Oh, no magic sperm.
His children can very much die. And almost have on several occasions.
That's unfortunate that, like, I can have children, but then, like, I'm not going to grow old and they're going to grow old and die.
Mm-hmm.
That's upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's, and Hohenheim does make that point. He says, you know, Al asks how's it feel to, like, not being able to die, and he's like, sometimes it's great, but then you have to watch everyone you love die, and that sucks.
That's probably why I didn't want to have children for, like, a long time. Because...
that would suck. To, like, watch your children, like, grow older than you, and then die. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Actually, that's terrifying. But he does share a little bit more about father.
A leather bag?
More or less. And if we can destroy that leather bag, then we can defeat what's inside.
That makes sense.
Hmm?
Oh, I almost forgot. Look at this.
I was keeping this in my crotch.
They're gonna do the same thing to Amestris that they did to Xerxes, aren't they?
This is a reverse transmutation circle, huh?
Destroying the tunnel.
They've got an immensely powerful homunculus named Pride watching over the tunnel.
But still, we've got to try before it's too late.
Ow.
For all we know, they might have already completed the circle.
Then why are you so relaxed?
Because it's not yet time.
Huh? How do you know?
Look up, son. You're too busy looking down when you need to look up.
Huh?
If you want
Stare at the
answers,
sun.
that's where
Directly with your eyes.
Up?
He doesn't have eyes.
The sky?
The man in Central is waiting for the day of reckoning.
Hey.
Okay. Well, Hohenheim is definitely a person. He just happens to also be a philosopher's stone. Father is, like, his physical form is, like, he describes it as, like, a leather bag. So it's basically just, like a nice covering. Like, you know, it's like a grill cover. I don't know why that's the analogy I thought of. But, like, you know, it's a cover you put on a grill. He's like, once you, like, take that off of him, then we have a way to defeat him. So the idea is you gotta basically take his outer shell off, and then you can start worrying about how to defeat him.
Or it's like a turtle?
A little bit. Like a shell?
Yeah, but, like, you can also kill a turtle with a shell. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. The leather bag analogy works fine.
Turtles are born with their shells, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they're eggs. Never mind. I was thinking, like, that was too hard for the mom to get out of the shell.
Yeah, no. It's all in the egg.
Turtles are fun.
But, so then they start talking about some plans to try to get to this, to try to defeat the bad guy. Al is like, hey, let's destroy the tunnels. And Hohenheim's like, nah. He's like, okay, first off, he's like, one, it could already be done. And two, Pride hangs out in there. You don't want to mess with Pride.
You don't.
Pride, we don't like that guy. Don't mess with him.
Could you go down there and destroy the tunnel if you bring down, like, a ton of lights?
And maybe, but I think I think it would be only like a temporary pause rather than, because it's like a giant tunnel. Like, you'd have to bring down, like, that's a lot. The Sloth's been working on a long time.
What if we like a lot of lights and a good amount of people?
Or no lights.
Or no lights. But that'd be hard.
Yeah, it's
we need night vision.
Yeah, I think Father has, Hohenheim has a point. Not Father. Oh, they're different people. Papa has a point. Where he's like, maybe not the best way to go about this, but then he starts talking about more. There's this thing called the Promised Day, and that's the day everything is going to happen. So it's they're working up to a point in time, and so they got to figure out what to do before that.
Before Sozin's Comet.
I was literally going to say that. Before Sozin's Comet comes. So there's this thing called the Promised Day, and that's when shit is going to go down. So.
That would be a fun movie.
Be a good time. The Promised Day. Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of where we leave Alan Hohenheim. We're going to go back to Beto, because we love Beto.
Do we?
We hope he's here for a long time.
Do we?
No.
Why is he doing this to me? What did I do to deserve it?
Just being a little freak.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Well, this is fun. Most people tend to curl up and cry. It's about time that someone actually fights back. I do appreciate the chance to kill my boredom.
How dare you imitate Mr. Greed?
Excuse me. I'm no imitation.
He's so sad.
My name is Greed.
The avaricious.
You got it. I want everything you could possibly think of. I want money and power and women. Sex, status, glory.
You demand the finer things in
Why do you
life.
just want women if you like?
I know.
I feel like Greed want everything.
How could you be? It's me. I'm your friend, Beto. You haven't been gone from
We all
Dublin
know
long enough
Beto.
to forget.
You're from Dublin. Oh, now it makes sense.
You remember me?
Afraid not. You must have been buddies with
Not
the previous one.
Beto.
What? I thought...
Sorry, pal, but you and I have never even met.
Poor Beto.
Mr. Greed.
Eh.
I'm your friend.
He was a weird little freak, but he was mostly
nothing personal.
harmless.
Did
I'm
he
just
murder a
doing
couple
my
people?
job.
Probably. And of course, Greed does not recognize Beto because he is technically a different iteration, and as far as he knows, has no memories, recollection, or any ties to his previous form, because Father supposedly purified him of all of that.
Allegedly?
Spoiler alert, Father did not purify him of all of that. And so, but because they start kind of fighting, and Beto realizes that he's like, oh, wait, you have the ultimate shield, and you sound like him too. Mm-hmm. Are you Greed? And he's like, I'm Greed, but I don't know you. And then, there's a kind of a back and forth here, which it really sucks because Beto, like, again, all of his friends are dead. And the one person he knows, he has a loyalty to Greed. And there's this other guy who is Greed, who's just a different iteration of Greed, and now doesn't know him. And because of that, Greed then stabs Beto.
So he dead.
Beto's gone. But Greed doesn't think that's a big deal because he's just like, this random guy, like, my job is to make sure, everything's good down here. So, like, I'm good. I'm doing my job.
Thoros came like static. Well, that was a fun little track to go down. Hey.
Sounds like he's having. Oh.
Going back to Jekyll.
What kind of sick creature would kill his own friend?
He wasn't my friend.
Man, choosing his body was a mistake, wasn't it?
Then why do you remember him? And are you gonna try and tell me Beto was just making everything up?
Those are the last Greed's memories. They're not mine.
Then why are you in so much
But
pain?
you are Greed.
They aren't mine. Father purified me and purged the old Greed's
I
memories.
think he did.
Those memories aren't a part of me anymore.
Well, they are, clearly.
No, you're wrong, Greed! It's not that easy! They'll always be a part of you! You can't just erase them from your soul! They were the only part of you that you chose! Look at them!
Oh, look at my
Can you not
buddies.
hear their
They're
souls
mostly
crying
dead.
out?
Yeah.
Or they're all dead? Are they all dead?
I think they're all dead.
Your
Okay.
real family! If you turned your back on something you wanted,
Getting
you
feelings?
don't deserve to
Is
call
he
yourself
he's
friend!
heartgrowing? He's feeling!
His heart grew 3 sizes that day, and it traumatized
The
him
end?
severely.
That was quick.
So Greed starts realizing, oh shit, no, I did know that guy. I did. You know what? We were friends. That's awkward. And then meanwhile, Ling is still in there. So even though Ling is not in control, Ling is in there, and he's like, hey, moron, you don't kill your friends.
Yeah.
You idiot.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, there's probably some of the Sensei who probably are not above killing their friends, but Greed's whole thing is like the amassing of connection and power and, fame and everything like that. So that's very antithetical to who Greed is.
Yeah.
Greed wants more of that. Greed doesn't want to tear down his own allies. And of course Ling, who has a very strong connection to like the people around him, is like, that's a bitch move, dude. You shouldn't have done that. And so then Greed starts having a crisis.
Let's have memory flashbacks.
Yeah.
I need somebody.
Yeah.
To get these flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And then just put empty chairs and empty tables in the background. If you like,
Because
you see him like
he
with the
starts
flashback.
saying,
Like,
yeah.
there's a grief that can't be spoken. There's a pain goes on and on. Empty chairs and empty tables.
Something.
Is it when my friend? Now my friends are. Is that it? No. Or my friends will meet no more. Yeah, they talked of revolution.
This is gonna go a long way. So anyway, Greed's having a bad time. And that's where we leave that. Yeah, good job. Good job.
Hello?
I think you'll enjoy this one. I was just a bit older than you are the
Mrs.
first time I read it. It's about an adventurer who travels the world.
In 80 days?
What is it?
What's happening?
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Who is it?
Yeah, I forgot about this part. I'm sure there's a lot I forgot about this. This is fine. Hey, buddy. Quick question. What's that all about? We do have a quick post-credit scene where Greed is continuing to have a bad time, and he's going to the point where like he's having this degree of connection to his previous memories, and he's basically freaking the fuck out.
I thought he goes somewhere.
He does. So we're at the Fuhrer's mansion, and we see Mrs. Bradley is there having a good time, being absolutely unaware of everything that's going on.
Allegedly.
Hanging with her son, who is good, definitely a normal child, and her husband, who's definitely a nice, normal guy, and they're all having a good time. And then there is somebody at the door, and so they go up, and oh my god, Greed's here, which is not good.
No.
But before we get to see what happens next, the episode ends there. So.
I love the fact that like you just have like little Pride, who's just like that has to like act normally around this woman. He's just like thinking, it's like, God, this fucking bitch. Can I please just kill her?
He's like, here we go again. The life of a child.
I want to see a scene with Wrath and Pride in like that, in like their form, and like they can just like talk freely.
Oh yeah.
Because they can't.
It's a very funny dynamic because, like, physically, like, Pride Salim is a child and Wrath is obviously like a 60-year-old man. But Pride is the oldest homunculus and Wrath is the youngest.
Well, it's kind of like Third Rock from the Sun. With because Gordon Levitt was older than John Lithgow's character, but like you know,
it's funny.
That's a good show.
That's funny. I don't think I've only seen season from that show. I don't think I've actually fully watched it.
It's like really like over the top comedy, but like John Lithgow, it's like very much like, I guess because like since they're aliens, like they need to learn like everything about human mankind, so that like them experiencing like birthdays or like love and like or like random stuff, it's just so funny. Because it's I think it's everybody's over the top.
Yeah,
so it works.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's this episode. What do you think about this episode, dear?
It kind of felt like a bit like we're like rev up.
We really rev it up. Yeah, I mean, this is where we start kind of learning, like, oh, this is where we get first mention of the Promised Day. Obviously, the next episode is called The Promised Day, so we're going to talk about that more there. But there is, like, you know, this idea of, like, okay, we're working towards something. What are we working towards? And things are kind of starting to come to head. Like, Ed is back, which cannot overstate that enough. It's nice to have the main character back here doing his own thing. And there's a lot of stuff. We're starting to see kind of, you know, going over who all the main players
the idea like Xerxes that like he just like that father just wants more power and to play God or play The Sims, as we have said.
Yeah, he just wants to play The Sims. Can you blame a guy? It's you know what, The Sims 2 is on sale now, so you
I know.
That's
I didn't know if I should get it or not. It's also like, but I think it's like $30 for like just The Sims 2 and all of the packs.
That's not bad. That's awesome.
I think we're most of the packs, but then I was like, should I get it with the bundle with Sims 1? But then some people are like, it's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Finally, EA did something good.
Finally, EA did something good. Thankfully.
Maybe they should, I don't know, like, say, like, hey, we're going to shut down The Sims 4 and reset it so that it works properly, and then we'll give it back to you.
That'd be nice.
For a small fee.
First. Why... Sims 4 is a lot. I wish I liked The Sims 4.
I like The Sims 4 with mods, because the mods, like, for some reason, like, it seems, like, really easy to make mods with The Sims 4, because, like, they actually look like not... Because, like, with The Sims 3, like, you could tell that, like, it was a mod that you put in, because, like, the movements are weird. But The Sims 4 looks natural.
Yeah.
So...
you want some trivia?
Sure.
All right, we're gonna get some trivia. This episode is adapted from content in chapters 81 and 82 in the manga.
How many chapters is there again?
100 and between 100 and 110.
Okay. So we're getting close.
We're getting close. Beto's escape through Central is shortened quite a bit. In the manga, he runs into several guard chimeras who then ignore him due to him being one before finding Greed. Due to the dub changing Greed's voice actor from Chris Patton to Troy Baker, Beto's line regarding "and your voice sounds" makes little sense in context. I still think they sound similar.
Don't they sound similar?
They sound very similar. So like, I feel like it's still like the way that he speaks still is very reminiscent of like Greed 1.0. Mm-hmm. So I'll take it. But they just clarify that in the Japanese version, Greed has the same voice, and they didn't change the voice actor. But anyway, let's see. Oh, in the Latin American Spanish dub, Greed and Ling also have different voice actors, respectively, as Beto refers to. Okay, whatever. Anyway, the Adult Swim airing this episode cuts the post-ending segment. Of course they do. I think it's for time. It says curiously here, but like, it's probably for time. Anyway, any other thoughts on this episode, Dara? I'm trying to think if I have any like good insights in this episode. I think this episode is very like
it's not
is what it is.
It's not filler, but it's like build up.
Yeah, not at all filler because there's a lot of like important things that happen.
I think it's
but
like
there's nothing to like really grab on and
to me, like I think we're building up to the point when like we're all going to be together, like the good guys, and figuring out like and giving everybody all the information that everybody has. Because like I do like how like everybody is like sort of finding out like some information is the same, but some is different.
Yeah.
So we're trying to like find out. So like it'll be nice when we all get back together.
Yeah. And
we're like, okay, here's everything we have. Now we need to find a way to defeat it. Mm-hmm. And then fight.
All right, I think we should take a break.
Okay.
And then we come back, we're going to talk about episode 45, The Promised Day. Stay tuned. You know those guys?
Yeah.
You know
well, he's a slug now.
Yeah.
But lucky for me, that's when Ed and Al showed up.
Does
and
the show
proved
pass
that his miracles were just alchemy.
Not in this scene, though.
So I was kind of shocked to find you here, Dad. I must have some good luck after all.
Aw.
We encountered a man who was identical to you in Central. I don't know how you're connected to him, but I'm guessing you at least know who he is, right?
Mm-hmm. I never should have dropped my guard around Kimberly. Talk about a setback.
Yes.
Yeah, that was not good.
I hope
Don't
I was
underestimate
able to
Kimberly.
safely find Winry.
Hey, Full Metal. Quit
You
spacing
just looking
out.
for when you read about your brother.
He knows that
So what's
his
the
brother's
next plan of
fine.
action?
If I were Al, where would I go? Come on. Think.
Lior?
Sibling telepathy.
What's happening?
Great question. Great question. But hey, we know where Ed is.
That's true.
We do know where Ed is. I don't...
Do it. Well, I mean, that guy did have a red coat, though.
Or a braid.
That's true.
Is it really Edward Elric?
I think it is.
We can't be too sure. All right.
I did love how we just didn't know where he was for 2 episodes.
I was off. Was it only 2 episodes? I thought it was more than that.
Maybe it was 3.
Yeah.
When did he get injured?
It felt like a long time. I don't know. Probably 2 episodes.
Like 2.5. Because like this didn't come until like halfway there.
That's true.
Okay, the promised day.
The promised day.
So
the day that was promised
by Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think Jesus is involved in this one.